behind me is my 70-year-old Scammell Explorer recovery truck. Now, before I got it, this truck was sat for over 20 years, and when we took it out for the first time, it developed a horrendous problem where the bit that attaches the engine to the gearbox completely destroyed itself. Now, being that it's 70 years old and Scammell no longer exists, you can't get those parts anymore. So what we're going to try and do in this video is, using some bits I bought from an arts and crafts store, we're going to attempt to repair that part for less than the cost of a steak dinner.
Otherwise, I could just be a tripod, really, couldn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is my nickname, to be honest.
That's how the intro for this video was meant to go. That was how the video was meant to be planned out, and it was all meant to end in this big, glorious thing where we go out for a drive and everything works. Unfortunately, that's not how things turned out. So the first half of this video is engineering prowess, lots of good work. We fixed many things. The second half of this video is complete mechanical carnage, where everything goes wrong. At the end of the video, there is a bit of a surprise. So what I'm going to be doing, mainly because of what happens during the second half of the video, we're now forced into the next step. And that's going to be what's happening with this engine, what our plans are for the future, and how Friday Parts are helping us out. Right then, so we're underneath the truck now. This is the back of our engine. So in here is the clutch, and this here is the drive shaft that goes to the gearbox. Now at the back there, you can see one of our couplers. I've got a Jubilee clip around it for safety, but that's what they're meant to look like. That is what the forward coupler looks like. So all those bits of rubber are falling apart and falling out of it. It's all a bit floppy. So what we need to do is get this off for the moment, and then we'll have a look at how we're going to repair it. So seeing as these components and the truck are well over 70 years old and Scammell don't exist anymore, it will come as no shock to you to find out that you can't buy these components new. Now, there are other routes people go down to fix their trucks, so people have prop shafts made up or other drive couplings. But me being me, I thought what we'd have a go at is trying to fix it. So to do that, I've been into the arts and crafts section of a popular online auction site. I bought myself a couple of bits. What I've done is I've been on this popular auction site and I've bought myself for £20 the components required to make polyurethane. Now, I think these are typically used for making action figures or, I don't know, fantasy figures or something like that. But what we're going to use it for is pouring into a mould to fix our drive coupling. So what you're looking at here is some SolidWorks 3D CAD design software, and on the screen is a mould or jig that I've designed up in SolidWorks. We then move over to the 3D printer slicer, which takes that 3D model and turns it into a file that's readable for my 3D printer. The 3D printer is then getting set up and getting going to turn that 3D model into a real-life plastic component. Okay, so we've got the oxide layer cleaned off all these little pizza slices here. So what I'm going to do now is just drill a number of small, probably quite shallow holes in these faces here, just to give the polyurethane something to grab onto. And then we will acid etch these parts and they'll be pretty much ready to go. So what you're looking at here is a man about to be shouted at. So what I'm doing is coating the aluminium parts with a layer of candle wax and the inside of the mould. That's to stop the polyurethane sticking to any bits we don't want to. I then put some RTV on the bottom side of the aluminium parts to allow them to stick to the mould and stop any of the polyurethane from seeping out through our bolt holes. We then mix up the polyurethane, the A and B component, and begin to pour it in. Right, well unfortunately, as you can see, we did run out of polyurethane. Now, we were meant to be delivering the second batch. Unfortunately, that hasn't arrived. I don't know when it's going to arrive, and it's currently too late. So what I'm going to do is break this out of the mould as it is, and we're just going to give it a go. I think it will be okay for now, and we don't want to do too many miles with it like this, but the long-term plan will either be to redo the whole thing, or we'll just pour some polyurethane in on top of it. that. It's like one of those funny sweets, isn't it? So being the good vehicle owner I am, before we go out, I thought I'd check a few bits and bobs. So this is where you top your oil up. So I've just been told you fill it up to this level, and that's your lot basically. But as you can probably see, somehow a large amount of water has got into the oil. That's the transfer box there. No idea how that's happened. That's all work. I need it done. The drive coupler's now all back on. We've got hopefully just enough petrol in it to get us to a fuel station. There should be nearly 50 litres in there, which should be just enough to go 4 miles up the road. What we're going to do now is just fire her up, drag her out, and put some water in it, and then see if it will in fact make it to the petrol station. Hopefully our coupler doesn't fly apart immediately.
This will make some good viewing.
Angry people everywhere. And a Scammell will soon be completely out of petrol.
Have you got indicators on it?
I don't know. I don't know when it works, I don't know which switch it is. Right, we've just put nearly 300 litres of petrol in it. Let's see what that does. Ah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You want to switch it off?
I'm just switching it off.
Okay, switch it off now then.
I've just switched it off.
Oh,
It's off.
I thought it was still running.
Yeah. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. You never know it was coming.
Oh.
Ah. Well, we made it back. It's like a cheap porn star, isn't it? Never know it was coming. That's where the petrol smell's coming from, I'd say, Peter.
What? The petrol?
Yeah.
Is that from one of the breathers that isn't breathing?
That could be, yeah, from the breather that isn't connected. That top one there, I reckon.
Ah, the one that's wet.
Yeah, well, these things do happen. How's our coupler? Oh, it's still together. Good news. So this is the point at which the video was supposed to end. An in-depth engineering solution with a fantastic outcome. Unfortunately, the next day we decided to take the Explorer on a local vintage tractor run. And on the way there, before we'd even arrived, it broke down, which meant we then had to be recovered by none other than a gardener. This gardener then proceeded to get stuck at the start line and required recovery from what can only be described as a dying swan. Like, I don't know if that's meant to do that. After Mr Best Pioneer was unstuck, we then gently packed away the winch and set to work on diagnosing the Explorer. It's not worked. Oh, Mr Mag. How's it going, Joe?
Well, I'm just changing the points. I don't know for better or for worse.
You can't make a Meadows
Better.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I was
worse.
going to say worse, actually.
Right, I reckon try it now.
Make it begin again. Are you ready?
Yeah. And again. Try again then. Stop parking.
After deciding that there couldn't possibly be anything wrong with our 70-year-old magneto, we decided to give it another tug with the gardener and see if she'd flash into life with a bump start. Not yet! That did spark then, didn't it? Huh? Postman's in the way. Get faster. It's running! It's running! Okay! Adam will unhitch! Best engine ever made! Oh, what an engine! Pass me that straight bar up! Once we got her going, we blasted on up the road and tried to catch up with the rest of the road run, which went rather well for a bit.
We just had a terrible backfire and something horrendous has happened to the meadow. by the way.
What's that?
It's blown that off as well, the stop.
Oh no!
Terrible news. That is bad news.
Turns
That
out
is
it's
bad
done quite
news.
a lot of damage to itself.
News,
We
mostly
are
bad.
2 plugs now, out of however many it had.
That's enough. After determining that there was nothing we could do at this current time about our missing spark plug, and then tightening up the remaining spark plugs, which just so happened to be completely loose, we stopped off for a bit of lunch, gave the old girl another pull start, continued on till the rest of the road run was over, and limped her back home.
I just figured that. You ready to fall again? Again!
Yeah, let's have a quick look under here. Where's this coupler at then? Oh, that's still intact. That looks like that's got rather warm though. Because it's black. Oh no, it's oil. Oh, that's right. Good news. They are. Well, that one thing we did work. Bloody lovely. Okay, so we made it back yesterday. That was a bit of an adventure. So we did nearly 40 miles in the old girl, and well, it did awfully, really. Now, the actual bits we tried to fix went quite well. All the issues we had were actually to do with this part here, the engine. The engine. So, what are we going to do with this engine? Well, this is a 10.3 litre Meadows petrol engine. Now, you've probably never heard of Meadows because they didn't carry on for very long because they weren't very good. So everyone else, when they buys a truck like this, they take this engine out, and in their place they put a Cummins diesel or Volvo diesel, something reliable, good on fuel. So this engine obviously runs on carburetors. If we come and have a look around here, behind there is an unbelievable amount of unreliability.
And disappointment.
And disappointment, yes. We come round this side, we've got the ignition system. The ignition system is obviously spark plugs, you can't really get away from that with petrol, but also a magneto, also horrendously unreliable. A lift pump, you can't really put modern day petrol in. And all of this comes together to give you this engine that makes about 200 horsepower, which sounds okay, but then when you think it's a 10.3 litre engine that burns enough petrol that it does 1 mile per gallon, it's rather disappointing. And it only makes that power when it works, which is very rarely. The engines also have trouble with the head corroding. They corrode on, the head gaskets go. So really, all in all, they're not that great. Which brings us to what we're going to be doing with it. So instead of carrying on with this as it is, we've got a little trick up our sleeves. We're going to fit a turbo to it. So this is where Friday Parts come in. So they've sent us a whole set copy. The turbone, convinced that's missing an R at the end there, but we'll work on that. And this is a HX55 turbo. So this is off a Cummins M11, I do believe. Big old spoolie jobby. And we're not just going to stop there. So we're going to be taking off the magneto, the carburetors, anything that makes this engine worse, not terrible because the engine itself is terrible, but all the bad bits of the engine we're going to take off. In their place, we're going to be fitting a standalone ECU, fuel injection, coil on plug ignition. So that's going to mean we're going to have to make a pickup wheel so the ECU knows where the engine is. We're going to have to make a turbo manifold to bolt on our gigantic Wu-Tang war whistle, and we're going to have to make up a brand new intake manifold with ports for fuel injection in it. So this is going to be quite a project, and the plan isn't really to instantly blow it up. If that happens, it happens, but I just thought, you know, as this engine is so bad and has such a bad name that no one gives it a chance, what if we throw loads of time and money at it and just see what happens?
It might be a viable conversion kit for people.
Yeah. Tune back in a year's time to see if these are up for sale. But yeah, so that is the future plan. Obviously, it's come a little bit earlier because the truck is now dead. So we've lost the spark plug out the head. We can fix that. Just another spark plug. We've tightened the other ones up now, so that's fine. The magneto needs rebuilding, but there's no point rebuilding that magneto. We're just going to rip it all off and put our new ECU on. So we've got Friday Parts helping us out with a turbo. We've got a company coming in to come and scan the vehicle. So we're going to pull all the intake and exhaust manifolds off. So this is the big exhaust manifold up here, goes into the engine. All of this will be gone. And around this side, we will be unbolting all of this intake manifold right up to the head here, and it will have individual injectors for each port. So Exact Scanning Solutions are going to come in with their big 3D scanner, and we're going to scan the front of the truck and the engine, and then I'll go into SolidWorks in CAD and have all the manifold flanges and stuff drawn up and designed with the turbo manifold designed. We can then have those bits machined, and then we can try and fabricate and TIG weld them in-house. So we're going to try and do this very backwards. You know, this big 70-year-old 1952 recovery truck, we're going to be using 21st century tech to make it awful, I assume, but a lot of fun.
Make Meadows great again.
Make Meadows great. Meadows has always been great. It's a very disappointing weekend for the Meadows because she was recovered multiple times by a gardener, which makes me feel sick. I feel like I've done Meadows a real disjustice. But yeah, we're on the hunt for an ECU. So at the moment, our current plan is to maybe nick the standalone ECU off my Mazda MX-5. But if anyone knows of a company who will do us a good deal on a nice tunable ECU, that would be great. We'd also be quite interested if anyone is able to tune ECUs, because at the moment I'm going to have to go and do a bit of a course because there's not many places you can take one of these to put them on a dyno. So yeah, if anyone knows of a truck dyno as well. But yeah, this should be a rather interesting project, kicking off probably this side of Christmas, maybe a little after Christmas. But yeah, I hope you stick around and watch that, and I hope you enjoyed where today's video went, and I'll see you all next week.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I've been mistreated, betrayed since I was born. I won't be your door.